They love you for your strength, until the day they start to fear it. In the beginning, it's your strength that draws her in like a lighthouse in the dark. Your focus, your discipline, your ability to look at chaos and impose order, your refusal to accept mediocrity. She looks at you with an admiration that feels almost sacred, a reverence that feeds a part of you that has always been starving. She tells you, with a sparkle in her eye, that she's never met a man like you. A man with a mission, with an unwavering truth in his eyes. And you, for the first time in a long time, feel genuinely seen, not for what you can offer, not for your status or your wallet, but for the essence of who you are. She supports your long nights of work, celebrates your small victories as if they were her own, and listens to your most ambitious plans without a hint of skepticism. She becomes your sanctuary, the peace you seek after your daily war. She seems to be the perfect partner, the queen your kingdom was missing. The fit is so perfect, it feels like destiny. But the question is, can a person truly love a strength they cannot control? Answer yes or no in the comments. I want to see this community's gauge on this, because invariably, almost imperceptibly, her admiration begins to change its form. Veneration turns into concern. What was once support becomes a subtle suggestion to hit the brakes. The woman who fell in love with the lion hunting in the jungle now starts to complain about the wilderness he tracks inside the house, about the claws that unintentionally scratch the velvet sofa she picked out. She doesn't attack you head-on. Her sabotage is a work of art, a death by 1,000 velvet cuts. It begins with phrases disguised as immense care. You don't have to work so hard, my love. We never have time for us. You live for that mission of yours. You're so serious, so distant lately. I miss you. Each sentence is a small seed of guilt planted in the soil of your conscience. She isn't asking for your time, she's testing your focus. She doesn't want you to relax. She wants you to retreat. Every invitation to set your purpose aside for a night of easy pleasure is not an act of love, it's a test of priorities. She is, unconsciously, measuring how loyal you are to yourself versus how needy you are for her approval. And the man who doesn't understand this silent power play gives in. He gives in to keep the peace, to prove he cares, to be the good man. And with every concession, every small retreat, a piece of his power, his sovereignty, is transferred to her. Most men at this point give in to maintain harmony, but those who are here to build an empire, not to manage a garden, understand that to retreat is to die. If you refuse to be domesticated, declare your intention. Comment. My strength is non-negotiable. It's a way to separate those who observe from those who act. Friedrich Nietzsche would see this dynamic not as a simple relationship drama, but as a raw and inevitable battle for the will to power. For Nietzsche, every living being, from an amoeba to a philosopher, seeks not just to survive, but fundamentally to expand its power, its influence, its strength over its environment and over others. Love, in this context, is stripped of all its romanticism and revealed as a sophisticated instinct of possession. She was drawn to your strength because the will to power within her desired to possess that strength, to merge with it, to benefit from it. You were a trophy that symbolized power. But once the trophy is on the shelf, the fear that it might be too large for the shelf or that it might one day decide to go to another shelf begins to creep in. Her will to power, which was once for conquest, now becomes about maintenance and control. And the safest way to maintain something powerful is to weaken it, to make it dependent. That is why what seemed like admiration turns into fear. Your independent strength, your ability to be happy without her, is a constant threat to her possession. So, her love transforms into a silent mission to make you safer, more predictable, more in need of her care. In a word, smaller. Nietzsche would say she is trying to turn the Übermensch, the one who creates his own values, into a herdman who seeks the comfort and safety of others' approval. And here we arrive at the revelation, the truth that many men feel in their chest like a nameless anxiety, but do not have the courage to admit out loud. You start to feel strange in your own skin. You walk on eggshells inside your own mind, editing your thoughts before you speak to avoid conflict. Your ambition, once a bonfire, now feels like a weak ember you struggle to keep alive. The truth is, she didn't fall in love with you, the man in constant evolution. She fell in love with the idea of you, with your tamed and controlled potential. She loved the lion she could display in a golden cage, but she has a deep, paralyzing dread of the lion that roars free in the jungle. Your real strength, your ability to live without her, your mission that is greater than your relationship. All of this doesn't excite her. It terrifies her. Because your sovereignty exposes the smallness of the cage she prepared for you. She doesn't want a king by her side. She wants a powerful pet who sleeps at her feet and eats from her hand. And all the care, all the concern, all the worry is just the process of filing down your claws and trimming your teeth until you become safe enough for her to finally relax and feel she possesses you completely. But a real man cannot and should not live in a cage, no matter how comfortable and golden it may be. His spirit sickens in the comfort of domestication. The partnership that strengthens does not seek to domesticate. It seeks to liberate. A woman who truly admires your strength, a true queen, doesn't try to distract you from your mission. She either becomes a part of it or builds her own empire alongside yours, creating an alliance of power, not a relationship of dependence. She isn't afraid of your intensity. She feeds on it. She doesn't want to soften you. She sharpens you like a sword. She doesn't see your focus as a threat, but as proof that she chose a man who knows where he is going. The choice, therefore, is not between being loved and being strong. It's between finding someone who loves your strength in its fullness, or settling for someone who only loves the idea of possessing you. Today, we dissected the why of this sabotage dynamic. But the question that will define our next debate is, what is the first and most crucial step a man must take to become immune to this kind of emotional domestication? The most strategic and well-reasoned answer in the comments will serve as the foundation for a future video. Think of this not as a comment, but as the beginning of your thesis on sovereignty.